A brand new weapon has been introduced into Fortnite, which means a brand new weapon breakdown. Sorry this video took so long, but as I'm sure you can tell by my voice, I've been sick for the last week. I don't know what it is about me getting a cold, but I always go through every symptom in stages. I'll start with a sore throat, then get a fever, then a stuffy nose, and I'll finish it off with a cough. All of this which is dragged out over a week. So sorry if my voice sounds absolutely horrible. Anyway, back to the video. Today we're going to be going over the Flint-Knock pistol, which is a very interesting weapon indeed. To start off, let's take a look at the patch notes for this weapon. They read Flint-Knock pistol, available in common and uncommon rarities, found from floor loot, knocks back the shooter, can also knock back the target if they're close enough. The closer you get to the target, the farther away they get knocked away. The shooter can crouch to prevent the knockback. That is something I would definitely remember. We're going to mention that later in this video. Close range damage 86 or 90 depending on the variant. Significant damage drop off. Must reload each shot, 3-second reload time, and it uses heavy ammo. As stated in the patch notes, the green rarity Flint-Knock does 90 damage at optimal range, and the white rarity does 86. Now how about that significant damage drop off? Well, the Flint-Knock pistol starts damage drop off at 4 planks, and by the time the Flint-Knock pistol stops damage drop off at 8 planks, it is doing 36 damage per shot, which is 40% of its original damage. For comparison's sake, the hand cannon, which is another slow firing weapon, albeit not as slow as the Flint-Knock, doesn't start damage drop off until 8 planks and retains a significant percentage more of its damage. Going back to the in-game stats, something I found funny is that the fire rate is actually correct on the Flint-Knock pistol. It fires once every 3 seconds due to having a magazine of 1 and a reload time of 3 seconds. I find this funny because Epic will simply put a fire rate of 3300s for every sniper and 1 magazine weapon, so a weapon finally aligning properly with it is absolutely hilarious. It's kind of weird that they don't just put the actual fire rate for these 1 magazine weapons. Like, does it really take that long to pull out your calculator and hit a few buttons? Sorry, this has nothing to do with anything. I have sick brain and I don't even want to be going on these tangents because it's making me talk more, and that's the last thing I want to do right now. So back to the video, let's go over the information that isn't stated in game. The Flint-Knock pistol has a draw speed of 42 hundredths of a second, which is mediocre. It's better than the hand cannon, which has a draw speed of 55 hundredths of a second, but slower than most weapons in the game, which have a draw speed of 33 hundredths of a second. Alright, so the weapon isn't the greatest in terms of damage. If you've used this weapon at all, you've probably come to this understanding already. What about the other aspects of this weapon though? This weapon offers the ability to knock back your opponents as stated in the title of the weapon, but it also means that you can use this weapon to knock yourself back. This includes the ability to shoot yourself 3 stories into the air, which can be great for obtaining the high ground, and this also means you can use this weapon to avoid dying to fall damage. You do this by very simply firing this weapon straight down at your feet right before you hit the ground. You want to be as close to the ground as possible before firing this weapon, because remember, it will shoot you 3 stories into the air, so if you're already 3 stories above the ground when you shoot this weapon, that means you're still going to have to fall 6 stories before you hit the ground, resulting in severe fall damage, if not death. A major downside of the Flint-Knock pistol is its horizontal movement. Trying to use this weapon to shoot you straight forward instead of into the air ends in less than stellar results. An item such as the impulse grenade, which was recently unvaulted, has much better horizontal ability and also features the same 3-story vertical potential. Performing plays where you try to catch an opponent off guard by closing the gap between you quickly are a lot harder to do with the Flint-Knock pistol than it would be with an impulse grenade. Although I will say that I would give the upper hand to the Flint-Knock pistol when it comes to using this weapon to try and gain the high ground when you are in the middle of a build battle. The final thing that I would like to talk about before we make an overall assessment on this weapon is its damage to structures, and this is really interesting to me. The green variant does 138 damage to builds. Yes, 138. That's more than the gold hand cannon after its nerf, which currently only does 105 damage. This is a chart I made for how long you are able to destroy a piece of wood, brick, or metal when using a gold hand cannon. If you fired the hand cannon within 1 second of wood being placed down, you had the ability to destroy it in 1 shot. If you fired within half of a second of brick being placed down, you could destroy it in one shot with the gold hand cannon as well. But when it comes to metal, you could never destroy it in one shot after its nerf. Here's how long you have with the Flint-Knock pistol. That's a whole heck of a lot more time to be able to destroy walls than you currently have with the hand cannon, resulting in you being able to much more efficiently destroy them and be able to take control of that wall. There are some drawbacks though. Number one is that you have to be crouched when you do this. If you do this while standing up, the pistol is going to shoot you back, taking away the chance for you to replace the wall with your own. Another drawback is that the Flint-Knock pistol also has damage drop-off for environmental damage, whereas the hand cannon doesn't. So destroying a ramp out from under someone in a build battle isn't really going to work with a Flint-Knock pistol like it used to in the glory days of the hand cannon. The final issue is that the Flint-Knock pistol only has one shot. If you fire that one shot and you don't take control of the wall, then you have to go through the hassle of reloading the entire weapon for 3 seconds, giving your opponent the opportunity to come up with a game plan to kill you. So the question is, wouldn't you rather use something like a heavy sniper if you wanted to do this? It does way more damage, enough damage in fact to destroy a fully built metal wall, so you might as well go with that weapon, right? I would personally say yes, but remember that the heavy sniper is much more rare than the Flint-Knock pistol, so if you're early game and want to try and use this weapon, I think it could be a great weapon in the hands of the right person. And a big advantage of the Flint-Knock pistol is that it works both as a wall destroyer as well as a high ground obtainer, whereas the heavy sniper only works as the former. So the Flint-Knock pistol, is it a good weapon for doing damage to opponents? I would say no. Is it a good weapon for horizontal movement? I would also say no. But where this weapon does have potential is in gaining the high ground during a build battle, as well as taking over an opponent's wall as long as you remember to crouch. This weapon may have a lot of limitations, but if you understand those limitations and avoid them, you can still make this weapon great. This weapon requires a lot of attention to detail in order to be effective, but if put in the right hands, you can definitely make this weapon work. Anyway, that is all that I have for this video. I hope you found it informative. If you're new here and like this type of content but without a nasally voice, feel free to subscribe. If you'd like to support me when spending V-Bucks or when purchasing games in the Epic Games Store, you can do so by using my code Flamm. If you made it all the way to this point in the video, I'm sorry you had to listen to my nasally voice, but hopefully it will be back to normal for the next video, and I will catch you all then.